Today we're taking a look at these NCAAF matches, which are happening on Friday, December 2nd, 2022, and giving you our parlay picks, match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. Also, check out our perks and join the High Stakes membership. Joining the High Stakes membership is easy, is cheap, but it will help a lot in the growth process of this channel. Plus, if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Our first parlay pick. Buffalo vs Akron. Under 60.5 points. In the only non-championship game of the evening, Akron and Buffalo are making up a game from earlier this season that was cancelled due to a snowstorm. Neither team has much to play for here, which would traditionally have me leaning toward an over. However, this Akron offense is just dreadful. The Zips are 91st in net points per drive, 94th in offensive EPA margin, and 123rd in EPA per rush, per college football data. Conversely, the Bulls' defense is 40th in success rate and 29th in EPA per rush. This sets up for a lopsided matchup in which Buffalo can completely shut down Akron. So while the Bulls should see success against an Akron defense that is 115th in passing success rate, don't expect the Zips to contribute much to this total. Our second parlay pick is North Texas vs UTSA. Over 60 points, the Conference USA title game will take place on Friday night when the North Texas Mean Green invade the Alamodome to take on the UTSA Roadrunners. The Mean Green, 7-5, won 3 of their last 4 games to finish in second place in the conference standings and ranked 22nd nationally in rushing offense at 204.2 IPC. On Saturday, North Texas forced 2 turnovers and rushed for 159 yards during a 21-17 home victory versus Rice. North Texas got on the scoreboard first on a 45-yard touchdown pass from Austin On to Jair Shorter. On gave the Mean Green the lead for good on a 6-yard touchdown pass to Akeka Ragsdale with 10 minutes remaining. Ragsdale rushed for a team-high 122 yards and a 7-yard score. The UTSA Roadrunners ran through the conference season without a loss and scored more than 30 points in each of the 8 games. On Saturday, UTSA erased a 24-point first-half deficit to storm back for a 34-31 home victory versus UTEP. The Roadrunners, 10-2, were outgained by a 498-458 margin and forced 2 turnovers in the afternoon. UTSA senior QB Frank Harris shredded the UTEP secondary for 382 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Tyke Ogle-Kellogg caught 4 passes for 142 yards and a 70-yard touchdown reception. Joshua Cephas caught a 65-yard touchdown pass, and Zachary Franklin added a 14-yard score for the Roadrunners. There were only 9 points scored in the first half of the previous meeting between these teams earlier this season, before a 49-point second half showed just how explosive these offenses can be. Both veteran quarterbacks are coming off very successful seasons throwing the football, and it showed on the stat sheet. North Texas quarterback Austin On and UTSA quarterback Frank Harris combined for over a whopping 6,600 passing yards and 58 passing touchdowns this fall. These quarterbacks shouldn't have any problem seeing success through the air against these awful secondaries. UTSA sits at 100th in the country in passing yards allowed and total yards allowed per game. The Mean Green aren't much better, as they're 123rd in the country in yards allowed and 112th in the country in passing yards allowed. This game screams points on both sides. Over 60 points. Our third parlay pick is USC, -3. Utah Utes vs Southern California Trojans. The Utah Utes are scoring 40 points per game this season, and they have an extremely balanced attack on offense. Utah is also holding opponents to just 20 points per game, and it will have to be the defense that sets the tone in this matchup. Quarterback Cameron Rising has thrown for 22 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, but this team needs to run the football to win. Utah was able to outscore USC in the first matchup this season, but that isn't going to be the case in this game. There might not be a team hotter than USC over the last few weeks, and with their latest rise up the CFP rankings, where they now find themselves ranked 4th, they know that a win on Friday cements their next steps. The only blemish on their record this season comes at the hands of the Utes, though with that one coming on the road, they will like their chances to flip their script. Not only does USC have the Heisman favorite, but also a coach who seems to have this offense spinning with touchdowns on nearly every possession. The last 2 weeks have seen the Trojans grab their 2 best wins of the season against Notre and UCLA, meaning momentum couldn't be higher for this group coming into their biggest game of the season. Unfortunately for USC, their injuries list is starting to mount, and that might not be coming at a good time. Travis Dye, knee, continues to be a massive miss at running back as he remains out for the season. On the defensive side of things, the Trojans are without 3 defensive backs, though with neither of the 3 being starters, that's likely to only hurt their depth. The Heisman Trophy race might be over after what Caleb Williams was able to do to close out the regular season. Williams has thrown for 34 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions this season, and he is also nearly impossible to slow down on the ground. The Trojans are allowing over 26 points per game this season, and they have been gashed on the ground at times. USC doesn't have to be perfect on the defensive end, but they do have to find a way to give the offense a chance to take over. Utah was a preseason top 10 team, and while in their minds, things might not have gone exactly the way they would want this season, they still find themselves 1 win from repeating as Pac-12 champions. Losses to UCLA and Oregon over the last few months, by a combined 13 points, show that this team has quite a bit of quality. Back in October, they were able to score 43 points against the Trojans, and while that might be difficult for them to replicate on Friday night, it should at least give them the confidence to not back down in this one. The concern is if the defense can improve on that performance though, especially considering that they won't be playing at home. It should certainly help things that the Utes have been able to stay healthy, especially of late. Brant Kuab, leg, has been out since September, and while he continues to be missed, there's no reason to think that the Utes can't continue to find success without him. Utah has been a major thorn in the side of USC during the last 2 seasons, but that will make the Trojans hungrier in this matchup. USC hasn't lost a game since Utah knocked them off, and they have much more to play for in this matchup. The Utes are going to try to win this game on the defensive side of the ball, but finding a way to stop Caleb Williams is nearly impossible. Look for the potential Heisman Trophy winner to have a huge game in this one, as he leads the Trojans to a big win in this game.